The kids are all experts at this. But one of the concepts that we tried to ingrain in their minds is that it's not the best idea to be thinking all the time. Right? We're trying to tell people that people who have to think all the time aren't the brightest. Because think about this, if you're thinking all the time, right, you really can't see into the future. Let me give you the simple example. Whenever you're an expert of anything, you can do several things. The first thing is, if you're an expert in whatever you do, it seems simple to you. Can you all agree to that? When it's simple to you, do you have to think more or think less about it? Less. For example, if I run 100 tests of releasing this water bottle, what % of the time is it going to stay right there after I release it? It's not. It's 0. If you had to think about that, then we need another conversation here. But if it's simple to you, you're an expert, you think less about it. But there's something else that you can now do. Before I even run the 100 tests, you can actually predict that every time when I release it, the bottle will fall. And it'll be on the floor. What you can do is you can see into the future. It is the ability to see into the future that simplifies things. Whenever experts have expertise, they always know what's going to happen before it happens. The people who have to think about it, then make a decision on it, are more expert or less expert? Less. Now, by observation, every one of us is unique. We are unique, which means we have a certain capability to know everything. No, to know something in a very narrow area. If we can identify what this narrow area is that we love to do, we have not only found out what our expertise is in, but we have actually found out who we are and what we're going to do for the rest of our life. So whenever I talk to kids, I tell them there are 3 basic things that they have to keep in their mind about what they should do in the future. The first is, they need to do something that they love doing. The second thing, it needs to be simple for them. Because if it takes too much effort, they're not an expert in it. So they need to love doing it, and they need to be simple about it. The third thing is they need to make sure it adds value to the people in their surrounding areas. Once they have found out what this is, they govern their own destiny. They do not stumble by chance into something that's going to make them great. Their greatness came with them the day they were born. All they have to do is find out who they are, not have somebody shape them into something they're not, and turn into the many millions of people who turn out later in life, their greatest desire is they want to retire so they can finally do something that they enjoy doing. No, these kids are our future. These kids are unique. These kids have something that nobody else has. And by being here and listening to this logic throughout the week, I can guarantee you that they are special. First of all, I have to tell you the truth. Everything I learned in the last 40 years, my mentor was my wife. Simply because, and she's right here. And I found out very early that she was my mentor, simply because when we first got married, she sat me down and told me, if you ever try to influence, impact, or control my life, your stress level is going to go up, your problems are going to go up, your cost is going to go up. At first, I didn't understand what she was trying to teach me. But over 15 years, I figured out that that was a natural law. And it was the start of accepting my spouse who she is and allowing her to be who she is instead of me trying to shape her so that I can make her into something better. And this lesson is the foundation of everything we do. I found out that I have no influence, impact, or control over my spouse. If she can't see it, then it belongs in my head. So when she started telling me, honey, we need to talk about this, what she actually meant was she was going to talk and I should be what? That is a natural law. That happens in every family with every group of spouses. And if they don't understand that, then we have the end of that relationship, right? And we get a divorce, right? Well, she taught me so much. And you saw a picture, the kids taught me the rest. See, because what happened is the kids taught me that I was the problem and I didn't even know it. The kids taught me that I needed to talk what? Less. Talk at the right time, and I better make it what? Simple. Or else they're not going to do it. See, this whole idea of like, from when kids are real little, send them to the room, make them think about it, then after they understand it, they're cured. This idea is not accurate. They can only learn at their rate, which means all this time I was abusing them and I didn't even know it. So what we're trying to get into the students is, the first thing, they are so young and they're so special that they can never make a mistake that's going to doom them. Everyone goes from a lower level of understanding to a higher level. At the lower level, they will make more mistakes. They will have to think more. They will have to make more decisions. But if they understand that to get to a higher level of understanding and to help and add value, that this is the natural course of life, then they can settle down and relax. No child should ever worry about mistakes they've made. They should just be looking ahead and looking at more things that they can do that they enjoy where they can help other people. We believe if somebody has this mentality and learns the logic, they can actually learn 5 times as fast. They can be superstars. They can be experts in their own area that they were personally designed for from the very beginning. And everything will become much more simple. Yeah, we all go from a lower level to a higher level. Making mistakes is the only there. Now, being Oriental with an Oriental background, I mean, this took me a lot to get over, right? I mean, even as a parent with my older kids, I was saying, you have to do better. That is not good enough, right? You have to go and study harder. I now realize that I was just abusing my kids. We took this in the industry, and for the last 25 years, have created the most innovative research program that went around the world. So I've been to almost every country, every culture, whether it be developing, underdeveloped, or fully developed countries. And these natural laws and concepts apply everywhere. There is nothing that escapes the natural laws. Now, one thing that we're really proud of, at Arizona State University, this technology that has been developed is the most innovative licensed technology in the last 20 years at Arizona State University. And what is this technology? It is how you can know almost everything without knowing anything. So I'm the only professor who knows absolutely nothing, but I can see into the future. And this type of thinking gives power to all the young people because they quickly understand that they don't have to have their own experience to gain the knowledge. They can actually listen to experts, pick it up, and take on their expertise. Otherwise, the information is proliferating at such a rapid pace. What's going to happen to their mind if they have to learn everything that comes out? You'll never survive. The secret here is how to know almost everything, knowing the least, so that our minds now can rest and be relaxed. So the logic we use, in the past, the present, and the future, everyone must realize that natural laws always existed. Before we discovered gravity, objects always fell. Will they also fall where I can't see it? Like back here? Yeah. Other countries? I guarantee you, natural laws control everything, everywhere. Natural laws allows human beings now to be able to predict the future outcome. In the past, present, and future, all our students, all our kids have unique environments. And their unique environment in the past is connected to the unique environment today. And if we understand that, where they are today, we can actually start seeing into their future. If we know what's going to happen before it happens, the stress level will go what? This constant worry about, are they going to be a success? I know it's difficult for parents, should go away. It will set our kids free. And we know the past conditions are always related to the present, and they'll always be related to the future. And it's given us a simplistic model that's insane. All it says is everything that has ever happened in the history of mankind has moved from one set of unique initial conditions to another set of unique final conditions. And the longer the event, the more different the conditions are. The shorter the event, the easier it is to predict the outcome. But whenever we get to the final conditions and look backwards, we always see that the final conditions are related to the initial conditions. Does that make sense to the parents? Yeah, and how many final unique conditions do we always have? Only one. Either a mother is giving birth or she's not giving birth. Either the plane crashed and everybody died, or the plane didn't crash and everybody's alive. Can a non-pregnant woman give birth to a baby? Can a man give birth to a baby in the future? No. No, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Well, what does this mean? What this means is it's only going to be one outcome, and the one outcome was actually set when? In the beginning. So there is a reason why our kids are who they are and have the talents they have, and why they're unique, and why they hold their destiny in their own hands and nobody else. And once kids understand this, life becomes more simplified, because they start looking in themselves to find out the future and not in somebody else, or not hoping that somebody else is going to save them, or not telling their parents that they don't want to be like them, or blaming them for things that happen in their lives. Because what we begin to understand is if the unique initial conditions turn into unique final conditions, and somebody tries to come in during the event and tries to change the person so that the final conditions are not related to the initial conditions, we know that is impossible. So we know that no one can control, influence, or impact somebody else's life. We begin to realize that we're all accountable for what? Ourselves in our own life. It simplifies things. It makes things simple.